going on, guys? Well, what the hell is today? Does anybody know? I know. Today is Thursday. Yes. And the plan was I was supposed to work for Brinks today. Well, we got a light amount of snow last night. I was like, it's really no big deal. Just a little bit. I'll go and I'll clear this up. So I went out about like 6 o'clock, 6:30. Max came over and he went out, rode around with me. And we only had to do like a couple certain areas. To go up to Niagara Falls, there wasn't really much there, but there was some in like Town and Niagara area, which is between where I am in Lewiston and Niagara Falls. Well, there was about 2-3 inches in a bunch of the places, so you know, just a little bit of cleanup stuff, nothing big. Well, I ended up, we are getting just about done. We are doing up on the hill right above where I live, where all of the, you guys have seen me film stuff up there, mowing and plowing. That's where all the ritzy houses are, like the $1 million mansions. And I'm like the little peasant at the bottom of the hill in my meager little cul-de-sac. My measly little $150,000 house versus their $1.2 million, $3.4 million houses. Anyway, so I get into that area and I'm just about done. I got fuel off. All of a sudden it starts coming down. Like, it is snowing so freaking hard I can't see in front of the truck. I'm plowing a driveway, and I got a larger driveway I do up there. Most of them are smaller up there, or average size, but I got one that's larger, so I'm doing that one. I'm not even freaking done with the other side of it, and the side that I started on is already filled in. That's how hard it was snowing. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, where in the hell's all the snow coming from? They didn't call for any of it. I'm shocked, you know, because they're always right on the forecast, right? So, yeah. So, it finally, you know, usually, you guys have heard my videos, I plow with the storm. I don't wait until the storm's over and then go out and plow 12 inches of snow. You guys who see my videos, you know, I plow with the storm to keep up on it so it's not so hard to push. Well, it literally got so bad that I was like, screw this. I am not plowing anymore. I looked at the forecast. By then it was like 8 o'clock. It said it was going to be done by 10. Everything is going to be done. 3 different weather apps, they all said it would be done by 10. I watched the map of the storm going across Lake Ontario and like Niagara County, my area. And it showed it was all gone by 9, quarter to 10, 10 o'clock. I was like, you know what? I'm going home. I'm tired as hell. I'm gonna crash for a little while, set the alarm for midnight, and I'll go back out at midnight. Once it's all done, gone, clear. So that's what I did. Max went home, and I went and laid down on the couch. I fell asleep for a few hours. Well, I got up at midnight, and it was done. It was all clear, so I went out and plowed. There was 5 inches of frickin' snow everywhere. Where in the hell that 5 inches of snow came from is beyond me. Well, obviously the sky, but you know, from not predicting any snow at all to getting 5 inches. So I plowed all night. I didn't have the wings on the plow because you guys watched that plowing video I did the other day with the cam on the windshield when I plowed out that church. Which, hey, they called me this morning. They accepted my bid for the mowing this year. So I have the mowing back again this year, which I am very happy about. I bid it slightly higher than what I bid it last year, but you know, I still gave them a very reasonable rate because it's a church, and I just think that's what you should do. But yeah, so they let me know this morning they accepted my bid for this year, so that's a plus, win-win. But yeah, so if you guys watch a video of me plowing the other day when I had the camera, the action cam in the waterproof case outside on the windshield, one of the new high-vis orange markers that I put 2 on the plow and 1 in each wing. And the one broke off the frickin' wing. So I took it inside the house and I was fixing it yesterday. I was getting it back together, I stuck it back down the plastic tube. It's long, it's 36 inches long, the ones on the wing, and it's plastic, and I stuck it back down inside the metal mount that it goes in, and I loaded that bad boy up with Gorilla Glue, and I stuck it back in there, and I hit it with the heat gun to heat it up a little bit so it all liquefied, and that Gorilla Glue ran all through it. And so I've been letting it sit. So I didn't want to go back out with the wings. You know, that Gorilla Glue, they say that stuff is, you know, whatever. But I've learned in the past that you really have to be on it. You really have to like let that stuff sit for a good long time before it's finally going to do anything. So I went out plowing without the wings on last night. Well, I got done, almost completely done with the entire night, and one of those brand new mounts or markers, look, that guy's got them on his truck right there. One of them brand new markers broke off of the plow itself. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. So I plowed the second half of the night with only one frickin' marker on the plow. That was a barrel of fun. Couldn't see where that corner of my plow was once the plow was down, because the truck has a 2-inch lift in it, so you know it's higher up anyway. Once the plow was down on the ground, I couldn't see that corner of it, so I was trying to be as careful as I could. But anyway, so I got home at like 7 this morning. No, like 6 this morning I got home. I was beat, so I went to sleep, slept till it's 9 o'clock right now. I slept for about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, and took a shower, and now I have to go clean up that church again. I got to get that done. I have to go, the guy that is in charge of the accounts for that church, I have to go clean up his driveway. He's not a regular customer, but he texted me this morning, asked me if I would, and he always makes sure I get that account, it seems like lately. So I'm definitely going to take care of his driveway for him. And yeah, so I have a couple other little driveways I got to clear up. So it's mowing, I wish. It's plowing time, cleanup work. I do a little bit here and there. So this is actually one I'm going to do right now. The girl just texted me and said she left the money in the mailbox. She was a regular one last year, and this year she just kind of calls me when she really needs it done. If I can get there, I can get there. If not, you know, she just tells me to get there whenever I can. So it's not a big, I told her when it's on call, you know, I get there when I can. I don't really know what to tell you. It's how it goes. So, yeah. So I'm gonna go hit this one real quick and get it knocked out, and then I'm gonna go hit another one. I'm gonna go hit the church, and I gotta go hit that one down on Lake Road. So just a little babbling today, I guess. Oh, I was having issues last night. Like, I don't know what the hell the problem was, but my oil pressure gauge kept going way down. I don't know what the hell was making that act up for, but that was going way down. It was acting freaking ridiculous, and I never have an issue with that, so it made me all freaking nervous. You know, a Chevy and a GM, the oil pressures always run high in them, always. It's just the way they are, in my experience anyway. But I get nervous when they run low. When oil pressures start to run low, that makes me very nervous, because that's when bad stuff happens. Your oil pressure's too high, you know, it's the most it's gonna do is, well, it can do a few different things, but all in all, in general, it'll probably like make your, oh man, I love it when they call me after they pack down their freaking driveway. The most you know, your issues that you would have if your oil pressure was too high was it could make your engine sluggish. For the most part, you're going to experience, like, it's not going to be, you know, anything real major. When your oil pressure is too low, that's when stuff starts happening. That's when, you know, bad stuff. You're not getting that proper lubrication to your engine, and you're going to start your pistons, rings are going to go bad. You're going to start seizing stuff up. Metal, you know, when you have metal that's rubbing together, like when an engine is running and you don't constantly keep it lubricated, you know, that heat, that friction is going to start melting parts together. You're pretty much rubbing two parts of metal together so fast that you're welding them together. So yeah, so you definitely want to keep parts lubricated. You want to keep that oil pressure. So if that oil pressure gets too low, you know, that's when bad stuff happens. So it made me nervous as hell, and I didn't really know what was going on. And I was not very happy about it, but I kept an eye on the gauge, and the truck was running perfect. I had no issues at all. I mean, the truck was running great. It wasn't hesitating, wasn't getting hot, wasn't nothing. So I stopped at a Tim Hortons and got a coffee. I had to go to the bathroom when I was due for a coffee anyway. So I stopped and got a coffee, and shut the truck off for a little bit. I come out, I checked the oil, checked everything, made sure everything was all right, and everything was. I had enough oil, everything was good. I started the truck back up, the oil pressure went right back up to where it was supposed to be. And then it was fine after that, and right now it seems to be all right. So I checked it again this morning to make sure everything was okay, and everything seems to be okay this morning. So I don't know. I hope it's nothing major. I hope that, you know, maybe it's just an electrical issue. I have found that this truck has its fair share of electrical issues. Things go weird, man. Like every once in a while my voltage gauge will read under 14, but I put my load tester on it and it tests perfectly fine. Everything is fine with it. I've tested the alternator, I've tested the battery, and everything is fine. And then other times it'll read like up at 18, 19 volts, like it's way overcharging. I don't know what the hell is going on with it, but so I don't know. Every once in a while it'll do like even weirder shit than that. Like the RPM gauge will just stop working, and then all of a sudden it'll start working again, and then it'll stop working, and then it'll start working. Like there are some serious electrical issues going on in this truck. I have no idea what they are or why, but so as of right now I'm correlating that oil pressure issue with that, because I don't know what else it could be. Okay, so 20 beans for a quick little driveway. So yeah, so I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping that that's all the issue is an electrical issue, and I don't have anything going on. I did find the other day that I do have a leaking power steering line. The truck was making some funny, you know, it seems like I've made a million videos about how this truck makes funny noises. Oh, what the hell, this truck is like the king of noises. But anyway, so I heard a noise and it's pretty distinct, and if you've ever heard of a bad power steering pump or power steering pump going bad, you know what it sounds like. It's pretty distinct. So I checked it and the fluid was low, and come to find out I have a leaking power steering line, which it's not a bad one. It's a pretty easy one to change. And it's like 35, 40 bucks for a new one. I'll probably get it cheaper, because when I go to Napa I'll just put it on my account, which I'll get it at a commercial price. But I mean, it's right around that price anyway. So I have been keeping that topped off because I just haven't had the time to change it. It's not leaking bad, it's a very slow leak, but it's just it had been leaking for a while and I never noticed it, and it got down low enough that the pump started making some noises. So good thing I caught it in time, and I didn't just keep driving it like that. I checked it out, figured out, I was right, that's what it was, and I got fluid in it before I seized up the power steering pump, because that's no fun ever. So yeah, so it's another project on my to-do list. But so yeah, I have to, I put the old markers back on the plow, which I really didn't want to do because I don't like them. I like the other ones better. I don't really like how these ones work. You can't really, they're the thin ones, they're floppy. You guys have seen them in my other videos, I'm sure, and they got the little flags on them that say let it snow. Yeah, well, don't let it snow. But yeah, they're, you know, at least I can see them. You know, they're not impossible to see, they're just not the easiest thing to see. So at least I can see them, they'll get me through until I figure something out with them other markers. I'm definitely gonna try to fix them. I have ways of fixing things that most people would think there's no way that can be fixed. It's beyond shot, and I've managed to fix things. So I'll come up with something. I haven't really figured it out yet. Usually my go-to answer is just weld it, but you can't weld plastic. So but I know somebody's gonna comment and say, yes you can, they make this stuff, it's called plastic welding and it's this epoxy stuff. Yeah. I'm just mean in general. But so yeah, what I gotta do is I'll figure out some way to fix it for sure, and I'll get them fixed and back on this plow as soon as I figure it out. But all right guys, enough rambling for me right now. I'm gonna hit this driveway right up here around the corner, and then I'm gonna hit this church, and then maybe I'll flip you guys back on to go hit that one on the lake. You guys gotta see, this is insane. All right guys. Sorry guys, this is the lake one I was going to film on the way in, and I forgot all about it until I was already in here. But don't worry, there's still plenty more to do here. This is right down on Lake Ontario, so it drifts over like you wouldn't believe. And just so you know, like I'll give you an example. This is when I plow this, like right now, I don't keep my blade in float mode. I drop my blade down, I get it down to where it's on the ground, and then just lightly tap it to lift it just a hair off the ground. This is all stone back here, and I keep it just a hair off the ground, and it's not in float mode, like I said, and I'm in 4 low because my truck will not push through these drifts, and with my blade angled, what it does is it keeps it'll throw my truck sideways if I go too fast or if I'm in 4 high. There's actually been a time where I had to have a buddy of mine that also owns a landscape company. He came back through here with his F550 Super Duty dump truck. He has a 10-foot Fisher V-blade on it, and it's one of the tunnel plows. So it, you know, it's as it goes out to the ends, it gets wider, like on a highway department plow. And that thing is awesome. And he just drops that blade down and right through. I mean, with the weight of his big heavy salter he's got in the bed of that dump and everything, it's not an issue for him at all. But yeah, so but for me to plow it, this is what I got to do. Like I said, I angle the blade, and I angle the blade and I leave it just a touch up off the ground, and I go in 4 low, and that's how I get through all this. I can actually, I broke through the hefty parts. I'm gonna put it in 4 high, and we'll do a little bit of this. If I, you know, and I know some of you guys say, well, I'll just get a bigger truck, and I've thought about it many times, going with like F250 or an F350 or 2500, 3500 Chevy. You know, whatever your preference is. I'm a fan of Chevy, GM, and Ford. I like that's kind of my thing. So, but I don't have that much of a need for a bigger truck. Like, I have my 3500 1-ton, my dually, but it's 2-wheel drive, and people have told me, hey, you know, just put a just get some really good meaty tires and put a ton of stone in the back of that thing, and you'll push snow all day long with it. And I've thought about it, and I really want to, and I almost did it this year. I have a friend of mine who has an 8-foot Western plow that he was going to sell me for a good price. So it's also the guy that I was just talking about that has that dump truck. He has like 3 plow trucks that he uses, but I was going to buy that plow off him and throw it on the dually and put better tires on it, because it needs tires anyway. I'll be putting some on it come spring, but I was going to do that and put a ton of stone in the back and see what happens. But it was just a big gamble to take as far as putting tires on that thing, putting the plow on it, you know, and all that. If it doesn't work the way it's supposed to, I'm screwed. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I just wasn't sure if it was a gamble that I wanted to take right now. I don't know. Maybe I'll try that out for next year. You guys see the lake out there? It's probably hard to see. It looks like it's still snowing like crazy out there, and I don't think it really is. I think it's just blowing around. It's only frozen out to a certain distance out. Lake Erie freezes over. Lake Ontario never completely freezes. I don't think it ever has. I'm sure probably in the history books it probably has at one time or another. I don't know that it ever has as long as I've been alive. Maybe it has. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so you gotta keep pushing this stuff back, because see, when I push it, I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera, but how it goes, it shoots that dust, this snow dust right up through the air. Well, that's the thing. The wind is always blowing down here, so everything drifts over so bad. It's crazy, and you got to keep pushing stuff way back. And like, I'm constantly coming down here to plow this, and it's fine. You know, I make my money on it. You know, rest assured. I mow these houses down here, so that's how I end up plowing them too. But you know, rest assured, I make my money. I don't just come down here and do all this, you know, because I'm bored and have nothing better to do. But yeah, it's I come down here a lot to plow these, and sometimes it's not even snowing. It's because they drift over so bad, and the people don't live here. They live out in Rochester. One of them lives in Rochester, the other one lives in Syracuse, and these are actually the houses they grew up in, and they just kept them, and they use them as summer houses. So they come out here, but every once in a while they come into town, and they have little cars, you know, and if they can't get in, they can't get in the driveway, you know, and that's not good. So I got to keep them cleared open. But see if I can get you guys a little bit of an angle of where I came in from the main road. But that's the other thing I didn't realize. Like, I have to wind roll everything to, I'll show you here in a second. I'm trying to get you guys a better view. Okay, now I don't know how well you can see that. We're gonna shoot straight up that. That's way up there is the main road. Okay, that's the main road, and you see a tractor trailer going by. That's the main road out there. Okay, you can see my path where I came in. Now that was, you see the high snowbanks to the right? That is how high it was right through the center there. You can see how far I shot it over. You know, you can see where it's at. Yeah, so we're gonna go down through this again, and we're gonna wind roll it some more to the left here, and I'm in 4 high. I didn't put it back in 4 low. We're just gonna kind of take it easy so I can push more of this to the left here, and we're just gonna open this up a little bit here, because if not, I'm gonna be back down here again today because it's so friggin' windy. Okay, yeah, see, now it's throwing me a little bit to the right, but And I know some people are like, oh, just blast right through it. Yeah, I've done that many times. And you know what? With this lightweight truck, what it does is it throws, my plow is so slick. If any of you guys have a poly plow, you'll know what I'm talking about. My plow is so slick that it literally throws my truck, being my truck is so lightweight, it throws my truck to the side like nothing. So the as far as blasting through it, that never works out too well. Okay, now I'm gonna go back down through it the opposite way again. Now that I just cut some more off of there, and I'll wind roll it the other way to get this thing opened up. And this wind is blowing right now. It's whipping through here. I'm probably not going to be out of here that long, and these are going to fill right back in. Like I said, this is a stone driveway, and my blade is not in float mode. I have it actually lifted up just a hair, so I'm just scraping the ground lightly, but I'm not dragging the blade like 100% right on the ground. So then that way it's going to, you know, that way it keeps me from digging in too much and throwing my truck sideways. All right, here we go. I'm gonna make this my last pass. Pushing this shit right across the road. Oh. Now, put it back in 4 high so I can get a little oomph. I'm gonna clean this fucking road up. It drives me crazy when guys plow snow across the road and then leave the windrows in the road. That's actually why you're not supposed to plow snow across the road, because guys do that. They leave windrows of it right in the frickin' road, and cars hit it and it throws cars sideways, and that's what screws them all up. So yeah, I'm going to turn around here in a second and take a look down this driveway and see how opened up it is, and hopefully it's good enough and I can, damn it, there's cars flying down this fucking road and I can't, sorry about all my F-bombs guys, got people flying down this road and I can't see anything. There's so many open fields out here that the wind cuts across some open fields, picks up any snow that's there, and then it throws it everywhere. You can't see anything. It turns it into like a big cloud. Alright, well, you know what? I'm gonna hit this one more time going down and one more time back up. I'm just gonna leave it in 4 high and do it that way, and yeah, hopefully it'll be all right after that. I might have to get my buddy down here again with his big truck to just whip down through here and rip that, or break this open a lot wider. Alright, well, it's one way of doing it. See, this was only an as-needed basis. I didn't know how bad it gets down here. And then, you know, about 3 weeks ago, she had called me and said, you know what, just do it every 5 inches or so. If I had been doing it right from the beginning, I'd have had all this stuff pushed way back earlier in the year, so that it wouldn't be so high up on the sides and it wouldn't be able to drift over the way it is. I'd have definitely had it taken care of better to make it easier to maintain, but like I said, she didn't give me the go-ahead, so it pretty much is what it is by this point. So, alright, well, I'm gonna call it a wrap on that one. And now I have to head up to the city, head up to Niagara Falls, because I have to go and clean up those apartments now that you guys have seen in so many videos. The apartment complexes need cleaned up. Hopefully a lot of people have left for work and opened up all the spots so I can clean them up better. And I have to go to Napa and get that power steering line, so when I get a chance I can change it. Yeah, so we'll go from there. Stay tuned, guys.